Okay. Let's see. Let's see if I could do this right. Okay. Let's see. Okay, I think we're on. I think. Let's see. Okay. We did it. I'm actually on. Whoa. Hello. 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 I'm so excited. How cool is this? We all exist in the same time, space, place right now. That is awesome. Hey guys. Hey James, Christine, Dave, Jason. Hey guys. How are you guys doing? This is really weird to do live. I'm going to say that because I'm used to whenever I say something silly or that I think is dumb, stopping and starting over. But you guys are going to hear all that. So I'm going to go ahead and get this started the only way I know how. I like that. And look, I changed all of my batteries just for this, just for you. Okay. This is awesome. I'm really excited. It's so cool because we are all existing in the same place at the same time. And I know I already said that, but how cool. Go Eagles. Okay. Oh my gosh. Thank you, Keith. You guys don't have to do anything like that. I am just so happy that we're all here. The magic is real. Okay. I don't even know how to start. I kind of just like talking to you guys. I'm standing up like a weirdo because I was too hyped to sit down. Okay. Everything's fine. Thank you so much, guys. It means a lot that like I feel like the core is already here. Okay. All right. So I guess I'm just gonna start. Okay. Here's the first thing. Let me know if you guys have any issues with sound or anything like that. I'm gonna do my best, but it's kind of hard to I don't know what I'm doing. That's the answer. I don't know. So let's try it. I feel like we don't even need the sound. We can just talk, right? So apparently this fire that's going on at this battery plant in Moss Landing, California. Let me pull it up because it's kind of suspicious if you ask me. Um, because it's a lithium battery plant, and it also happens to be part of Tesla in some way, which I don't know. Something feels weird about that. Not that I don't trust Tesla. When was the fire? Let's see. I mean, the articles that I'm reading are just from a few hours ago. So it says Tesla powered facility catches fire, area shut down. Oh, the one thing that I do want to say I thought was odd about this is they just did a thing where you just have to stay at home. Like a what is it called? Like stay in place or whatever. Why would you want to stay in place if this is what's going on near you? Sounds crazy. Um, when was it? When was Moss Landing fire? I mean, this says that it was on the 16th. A fire broke out at Moss Landing Power Plant in California on January 16th. A natural gas powered electricity generation plant operated by Texas based Vistra Energy. I don't know. This fire stuff is a little out of hand, obviously. Okay, let me see. I'm not good at reading and talking and all this stuff. So let me see. The lady. Oh, you guys are so nice. My gosh. Uh, let's see. Yeah, lithium batteries. I know. Oh, what is it? It's shelter in place. That's the thing. I don't know. It you said it's Keith, you said it's been days and it's not Tesla. I'm not saying it is Tesla. I'm saying that's one of the things that I believe they create there is the batteries that are used in Tesla vehicles. Hold on. In fact, let me double check that for you right now. Tesla. It's the world's largest energy storage facility. 40% of the battery plant was burned. They just keep calling it Elon Musk's battery facility. So I don't know. Yeah. They love getting you to shelter in place. Isn't that wild? Mint indeed. All right. I'm going to go on to the next one. Speaking of these fires, let's see. You're just going to have to bear with me for all my weird little things that I usually take care of. Uh, Whoever said I should have music was probably right. I see that now.
So what was so interesting that was when I was at my sister's house, the houses across the street nothing was wrong with the houses across the street. And then both houses on the back side, like on the side kind of towards the back, that's where they put the smart meters. So I realized that the only houses that had the smart meters were the ones where the smart meters were installed on the side, I guess, back of the house. So if they can't get to your regular gas line or your regular electrical line or whatever they're trying to read, then they put the smart meters there so they don't have to come out to check them. Well, it just seems to me that when I was while I was standing there and the two houses across the street from my sister's house literally get set on fire at the same time when there's no fire. When there's no fire. And then I was like, you know what, there gotta be something to this. Gotta be something to this. So then I woke up really early in the morning and then I noticed nothing but white cars with blacked out windows. And then I looked up what that was and they were like, oh, that's the army. And then the next day, the army shows up and now nobody can go to their houses because I saw those white trucks going and taking the devices. And when they took the devices, they'd leave a black empty box.
I mean, the sketchiness just does not end, does it? Mm-mm-mm. I do not trust these smart meters. Let somebody come by here and try and get me to get one. No. I think it's probably, truthfully, Jason, a combination. That's what it seems to me because it seems to me that the fires, this is just my opinion, that they were started intentionally by whoever that may be because they started in like 8 different places at the same time, right? So that's suspect to me. But but then there are so many videos of other people perpetuating the fire, throwing gasoline into it, just kind of starting fires in neighborhoods. So I kind of think they got the ball rolling, and then all the people who are just really angry and upset were like, "Good idea." Earlier in the news, I saw it was some clip, and somebody was actually mentioning, well, at least they're not, and they basically just walked through the steps of how to make a Molotov cocktail and said that would be the most effective. Thank goodness they're not doing that. It's like they're so careful with their wording and everything that they put out in the media, so they told you that on purpose. I think it's a collective. Every house I every house in Australia has smart meters. Is that true? Mandatory here. I don't know. I don't know anything about them. I don't know what it would take to take it out. I don't know what the benefit is. Obviously, to them, it's that they don't come out. But yeah, he did say when we started the fires. It's disgusting. But then you hear these things and you're just like, what do I do about that? I just kind of know and live with it. Disgusting. Never really own anything, our own thoughts, and they're after them. They are after those too. Mm-mm-mm. Do you guys have any of you experienced the fog? Because I have seen fog, but I never thought anything odd of it. I think because it's always foggy here. Is fog a thing where you guys? Keep saying you guys. Are you noticing a lot of fog? Because now I'm getting intrigued by it because I'm hearing more and more about this micro dust. You want something new to be horrified about. If you don't know about it, here it is. Any blue buildings? I don't think the blue thing had a part in this one like it did last time. You've never had a credit card. Good for you. Interesting. I would imagine it's tougher if you had never had a credit card to do things like get loans, loans and houses and things like that, right? Because that's one of the things they always look at. I've never had a credit card. More people who have never had a credit card. I wish I never had a credit card. I got one in college because they love fishing them to college kids. And I ran it up all that entire $150. Oh, that's funny. All right, let's learn more about fog.
So ever since we've had this fog show up all around the world, people have been experiencing some strange things. I'm going to tell you what I think it is. I have ChatGPT here. I'm going to show you in one take, no edits. Let's see. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. How can I help?
Explain to me with a little bit of detail what smart dust is.
Smart dust consists of tiny wireless sensors, each as small as a grain of sand. These sensors can detect and measure environmental conditions such as temperature, light, vibration, or chemicals. They communicate wirelessly and can work together to gather and transmit data, often in real time. This makes them useful for applications in fields like environmental monitoring, industrial automation, and even military surveillance.
So if the military wanted to use this to collect data from civilians or anything they really wanted, they could do that?
In theory, yes, the military could use smart dust for data collection, including surveillance. The technology's small size and wireless capabilities make it versatile for various applications, including monitoring environments discreetly.
I just wanted to say, someone said, wasn't there an old movie called The Fog? I think there was The Fog, but you might be talking about The Mist, where they get stuck in the grocery store.
However, the use of such technology would be subject to legal and ethical considerations.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
So there's that. And there's a little bit more on that because to me that didn't quite solve it enough.
Hi, who wants to look at some top secret documents which might explain this mysterious fog everywhere? Also, amazing response on the videos. 2,000 comments on the video from this morning. Crazy. Keep them coming. Lots of videos coming in too. This is happening everywhere. Allow me to introduce you to the Future Strategic Issues, Future Warfare circa 2025 research produced by NASA at their Langley Research Center. These were some of the contributors. You got CIA and DARPA in there. Nice. Some sensor swarms, smart dust, under a cubic millimeter, combined sensors, comms, and power supply, floats and air currents, placed on everything. Identification and status info, co-opted insects. What the? Don't forget about micro dust weaponry, which is dust which is mechanically bores into lung tissue and executes various pathological missions. And don't forget about the explosive dust, which could be floating all around us right now.
Thank you guys. I'm just reading these amazing comments from you. I can't believe it's so exciting that people are actually here. I told you, didn't I? Me and my daughter were FaceTiming while we were in it, and it was moving rapidly. Then there was sort of fiber on the ground. Yep. Yes, you did. Because I think I said, did you save the fiber? Like, that would have been a good idea. You guys. Oh my gosh. So Christine, was it you that said the nanoparticles are old technology? That explains why now even a grain of sand can be used to survey us. I don't like that. Surveil? Surveil us? Is that a word? I don't like microdust. I thought this would be a really good point after the smart meters and the microdust to put in something a little more lighthearted, just to remind us that we don't know anything, but we're in this together.
Oh, my friend, it appears that you've forgotten that nobody has a fucking clue what's going on. We are talking monkeys on an oxygen-rich, water-heavy rock floating in space. Nothing about what I just said makes any sense at all, yet it's absolutely true. Listen, the only person you need to answer to is Mother Nature. The rest of it is man-made hogwash created by fucked up senile old men who want to capture your heart and mind for ultimate profit at best and planetary control and manipulation at worst. So my advice would just to be get out, hug a tree, get back to being human, and fuck the rest of the shit that's spiraling you into an endless depression and confusion.
Pretty solid advice, right? Because honestly, if we just focus on all these things, it's fun to look at and it's fun to talk together. But if all we do is think about this, we will go insane. We will go insane. This is fun. This is so fun. I managed to catch some fog in a jar and I magnified it. It's weird, and I live in the UK. Interesting. What did it look like when you magnified it? Sarah, I need more. Most of y'all don't know, but some of us do. That was ominous, Bill. I need more on that too. Maui is a trial run. Sadly, I can see that. Tree bug. Oh my gosh. Yes, discernment. I stand by discernment. It's up to us. We figure it out if it's true or not together. Depopulation. I don't feel like that's working. People are everywhere. We talked about the mud flood recently, so I found a video on that. That is next, if you are so interested. Didn't it start in the UK? Or are you talking about like London fog? I don't know if that's the same thing. What's the name of the oh, the hooded conspiracy guy? Who is the hooded conspiracy guy? Is that the guy who wears the mask too? Nexor. That's what I meant with the mask. Nexor's good. All right, let's learn about mud.
What has been coined as the New World is actually far older than you have been told. The United States of Mudflood. This was the true old world, dug up and repurposed. Modern renovation work reveal this founded Freemasonry, going much deeper than thought, looking much older than should be, and iconic construction projects from coast to coast, looking more like excavation work than laying of new tracks. And of course, one of my favorites of all, Kansas City, Missouri, looking like the excavation and unburying of Rome, complete with those destroyed and buried red brick structures. From coast to coast, and all points in between, from the stories of the silly undergrounds, forgotten and buried in nearly every city, to the rock walls in Rockwall County, Texas. With all these ruins in America being unearthed daily, that's not even including all the giant remains collected and hidden at the Smithsonian. America is rich with buried history just waiting to be found, even in my hometown of Rockford, Illinois. Question everything, friends. Until next time.
All right, let me know if that sounds better or worse. Anybody? Yeah, so about this flood thing, I was not convinced, but the more I think about it, the more it makes sense, because if they try to hide what was and turn it into this underground thing that we build over top of, and these are the buildings that we don't know what's under there. And if we collectively, because these mud evidences are all over the world. So if we accept that there was a mud flood, doesn't that ultimately kind of, I don't want to say it proves the Bible, but it certainly would lead a lot of people to believe that that is the great flood from the Bible. And if they want to hide that from us, that would make sense. Again, I'm not saying that's my thought. I'm just thinking out loud. Okay, thank you about the sound check. Oh, thank you guys. You're so nice. I'm trying to tone down my socially awkward tendencies right now. All right. This is a story next about fairies. And I know it's completely unrelated to all the disaster stuff we were watching, but I was compelled. So here we go. This is very old. Very old.
Elsie Wright was just 15 when her cousin Frances came to spend the holidays with her at Cottingley. How young Frances must have loved that holiday. She had her older cousin to play with. She had the wide-open Yorkshire spaces to roam in. And most of all, down at the bottom of Cousin Elsie's garden, she had the river, what these northern folk called the beck. Every tea time, Elsie and Frances would bustle in with...
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt. Sarah, you're so funny. I tapped the like button so hard, the iPad fell off its stand. That's adorable. Thank you. Thank you, Sarah.
Tales of fairies and gnomes, little people who would appear and disappear at will, but always and only when the two little girls were alone. Father smiled to himself, as fathers will on these occasions, and said, "Here's Uncle Percy's camera. This is how it works. Now you can show me pictures of your fairies."
Oh, hurry up, Frances. Oh, hang on, you're going much too fast.
Who else loves this reenactment, though, too?
As firm fairy believers, Elsie and Frances set off for the Bluebell Wood, their favourite fairy place. Here, the fairies and their gnomes would materialise for them and for Father's camera.
All right, then. A little bit to the left now. A little more. Steady now. Hold it.
Up to now, we've been recreating the story of the Cottingley fairies as another lovely fairy story. But from the moment that that photograph was taken back in 1917, the rest has been hard fact. Frances and Elsie took several photographs that day, and their father developed the plates. The original plates are kept with great care at the Brotherton Library here at Leeds University. Needless to say, these little rectangles of glass have become the subject of intense investigation by photographic experts over the years. But no one so far has been able to prove the suggestion that they were fakes. In fact, the first photographic expert who looked at them said this: "These negatives are entirely genuine, unfaked photographs of single exposure. Open-air work, they show movement in the fairy figures, and there is no trace whatever of studio work involving card or paper models, dark backgrounds, painted figures, etc. In my opinion, they are both straight, untouched pictures." There can only be two people today who really know the truth, Elsie and Frances. And this is Elsie, returning to the Bluebell Wood 60 years after the little girl she once was skipped and danced and played with Uncle Percy's camera here. What did you see here all those years ago?
Well, this was the place where I saw the gnome. And I was sat I'm sure it was just around here, and Frances was there with the camera. And the gnome came from round that tree there and came up to me, and I thought it was going to touch me, and I put my hand out, but it sort of gradually melted, and that was it. They were like that. They sort of came and then sort of disappeared.
You've been through a lot of investigations one way and another, haven't you? Yet nobody's ever been able to prove it.
No, the thing they can't understand is that they were all taken on rather dull days, and yet the fairies were lit up. They're sort of glowing. They said they were luminous.
Elsie and Francis have lived happily ever after. And today, 60 years on, the mystery of the fairies they saw here at Cottingley remains delightfully unresolved. Some people believe in it implicitly. Others say it's nonsense. But the lovely thing about this fairy story is that no one can ever be quite sure.
So, I agree with you, Spiderbite, who said they saw them. They also had cardboard cutouts. They do exist. Oh, Sarah, you said they cut out pictures and posted them and posed them. Yes, I agree. However, these photos, there's some really interesting stuff about this. So when this interview was done, this was 60 years after the photos were taken and all of this publicity and everything else went down. I mean, to the extent of this situation, Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, yes, that's right, the creator of our friend Sherlock Holmes himself, actually was so compelled by these images that he wrote an article that ended up being published and believed this the rest of his life, that fairies exist because of this. So I thought that was a pretty amazing connection. What had happened is their father didn't believe it. The mother of one of the girls did. And so they kind of just kept it going, and it gained all this publicity. And here's what doesn't make sense to me. They went this whole time saying that it was true, 60 years. And then 66 years, in 1983, 66 years after the photos were taken, they came out and said, oh, just kidding. It was a cardboard cutout. But you're telling me you fooled Leeds, like the photography department at Leeds. You fooled the Kodak people. They also had people at Kodak look at these photos. You fooled all sorts of people. Thank you. You know I love my research, especially about Sherlock Holmes. I mean, come on. So, yeah, here's what I did. I found this is one of the photos. I don't need to be here. This is one of the photos that was taken, which I'm sorry, whether it's true or not, I'm quite impressed that a little kid did this. Here's another one. I mean, she's just hanging out with that little, come on. However, when it was debunked or when they came out and said this wasn't true, the other thing they did say is that they maintained that they saw them. They said, we frequently saw fairies. We frequently saw gnomes. Did we catch them on camera? No. Did we play around a little and make everyone believe us for 66 years? Yes. But they swear that they saw them. So I believe them. This is kind of a while to go on with this lie. Well, thank you very much. What if the fairies came to them and were like, hey, say you faked it or else? I kind of thought that. I thought that maybe it wasn't the fairies that told them, but maybe somebody else on the precipice of the internet there in, what year did I say? 1983. Yep. Can't have that getting out. Can you imagine if we collectively just found out fairies exist? Everybody would be fairy hunting, and it would be debacle. They're better left hidden and showing themselves to sweet little children who nobody believes. That's where they're safest. Real or not brings the mythology to the table. What's real? That's a very good question. Very good question. All right, let's listen to some George Carlin.
There is no national conspiracy to buy elections and control America.
You don't need a formal conspiracy.
Right.
When interests converge, these people went to the same universities and fraternities. They're on the same boards of directors.
It was the Sylphs and Arthur Spiderwick who changed their story. I need more information. I'm intrigued. Howdy, Papa Norm.
They're in the same country clubs. They have like interests. They don't need to call a meeting. They know what's good for them, and they're getting it. And there used to be 7 oil companies. There are now 3. It will soon be 2. The things that matter in this country have been reduced in choice. There are 2 political parties. There are a handful of insurance companies. There are about 6 or 7 information things. But if you want a bagel, there are 23 flavors because you have the illusion. You have the illusion of choice. Right.
Well, I don't know what he meant. I approve of everything he said. I'm not sure what he meant when he said there are 5 oil companies or whatever, however many he said, because when I Google how many oil companies are there, even just in America, I see 9,000 independent oil and natural gas producers in the United States. So I'm probably misunderstanding what he's saying, but there's a lot. And regarding TikTok, because we have to talk about it, I guess.
So I'm going to have to start thinking about TikTok. We did go on TikTok, and we had a great response. We had billions of views, billions and billions of views. They brought me a chart, and it was a record, and it was so beautiful to see. And as I looked at it, I said,
"Oh,
maybe we got to keep this sucker around a little while." You know, who wants to?
Sorry, I'm just catching up on the comments. Yes, you're right. It was a joke. Sorry. They're all owned by the same people, just different names. Sadly. Seems at least part of the same team. And it does see, my understanding is that TikTok did go under. I say go under, but they went offline for a few hours overnight. But when I got up, I logged in just to see if it would work, and it did. And then I started thinking, oh my gosh, is this a test? Are they going to show up at my door because it's illegal for me to do this? They did not. I think all he did was a 2-month extension, right? Or 90 days. I don't know, some sort of extension. But we're going to end up in the same exact position with TikTok if somebody else doesn't purchase it. It's just an extension of what's already happening. He did not. What was the word he didn't say? I'm lost. That was the word he didn't say and why you didn't understand. Masons. Ah, gotcha. Enough said. In a live? I'm confused. Christine, in a live? Are you talking to me or somebody else? Oh, there was an ad? Are you kidding? Wait. How do you change that? I'm learning, guys. I swear. If I ever do this again, I will get better. Yeah. Those two are going to own everything. Trump and Elon. I saw Elon at the inauguration with Trump's family, as if they're family now. I was like that you said an ad. Is everybody seeing ads? Doing great. No worries here. Thank you. Second ad. How long have we been on? I don't even know. Okay. I'm just going to move forward. I will figure that out. Interesting. Okay. I don't know if you guys are going to believe this, but this is a UFO UAP sighting in Peru just last week. The camera is shaky enough to kind of make me believe it.
OVNI en vivo, familia, estoy traumada. ¿Qué es eso?
I'm not sure. In the comments where I retrieved this video, someone said that this was a military vehicle. But I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Okay. Yes. BlackRock. Those guys. It is an interesting shape. It's bigger than normal. Usually they're just like little flying saucers. It's This thing's got space for snacks. I don't know. I knew you'd like that, though. I don't know what it is. I don't know. Here, I'll play it again.
ovni en vivo.
Without all the... We don't need it narrated. We can see. It's aliens. Look at that. My only qualm about things like this is that I just don't feel like it's moving enough for me. You know, like all the little pieces that you can see, the little black spot that is presumably some sort of window or seam, it just stays in the same spot. I kind of believe this one though, because it's so shaky. How could you do any sort of tweaking to something this shaky and make it look so consistent? Oh, did you guys hear about this retrieved ship? This egg-shaped ship that they retrieved? Oh.
Let's slow this down to take a closer look. That's an egg-shaped UAP suspended from a 150-foot long line. We're told the craft is about 20 feet long. The egg suspended in a cradle. And look how careful the pilot is as they bring their precious cargo into...
Did I just go offline for a minute there? Or was that just me? I'm done with UFOs since disclosure? Oh, no.
Land. Let's freeze frame here to look at one of the clearest images of a UAP ever taken. This is no blurry light in a distant sky. The source of the footage putting themselves at incredible risk to record this UAP retrieval. Look at how perfectly smooth the craft is. No markings at all, and no visible means of propulsion or way to see inside. Watch how it rolls, almost graceful as it hits the ground, despite being wrapped in the ropes and canvas from the cradle as it's dropped for pickup.
Oh, gosh. You know, I really hate to say anything negative about this because it's cool and I want it to be true, but every part of me inside says that this is an actual egg with duct tape around it. And that this is not far away. This is all just small. Movie magic. I don't like it. I don't like it. Here's more from the egg guy himself.
That object, or whatever was controlling that object, was also connecting to me through the mind, through my mind.
And so, how did the object come to land?
I think it was invited to land by the psionics team.
What is a psionic?
A psionic person is someone with the predisposition for extral, temporal, you could say, abilities and sensitivities.
What did you discover the psionics were being used for in the program?
In the program, there was certainly a desire to explore the idea that perhaps UAP could be summoned, could be communicated with, could be controlled, and could be persuaded to land, all by deploying people with psionic abilities.
And did you see that happen?
Yes, I did.
When a psionic operator engages with technology, how do they do it?
Using their mind, something like meditation.
There genuinely are people who can actually make a mental, spiritual connection to a technology.
Yes, 100%.
I've had the pleasure of meeting multiple psionic assets. I've seen them function. I know that they're capable of doing what they're doing.
You can definitively say that you believe there is a capacity in the human mind to somehow psychically, telepathically connect.
Yes, and I don't know if it's a byproduct, if it's something that they were born with, but there is certain people who are quantifiably, verifiably capable of this.
This is an ontological shock, I think, for many people watching this, because we're all being told, firstly, there's no such thing as aliens visiting this planet, and secondly, there's no such thing as telepathy or psychic abilities. It's rubbish.
Yeah, you know, I don't think there is going to be an ontological shock. I think it's going to be an ontological relief, because I think everyone deep down knows that there's more to life than what we are being told and experiencing. Like, not only is it not shocking, but it...
I'm just going to stop it here because it's basically over. And I just wanted to pause it here to say that one of the comments when I swiped this video from the internet said that this man hasn't gone a moment in his life without being surprised. And I feel bad that I thought that was hilarious, but I did. And I too have seen things with my own eyes, so I definitely know it's real. Maybe not everything, but real is there. Oh, and I agree with you guys. I looked up psionics because that sounds silly. And there's a Wikipedia for it right there. Psionics, Wikipedia. In American science fiction of the 1950s and 60s, psionics was a proposed discipline that applied principles of engineering, especially electronics, to the study and employment of paranormal or psychic phenomena, such as extrasensory perception, telepathy, and psychokinesis. So it's one of those things where it's based on science fiction, but does that mean that it's not true? And it's just, I don't know. Who knows? Thank you. I appreciate it. I love my research because if there's one thing that bothers me, it's when I get a comment that says I nonstop put fake stuff or something like that. I'm like, if it is, I like to point that out myself. Oh, have you seen the footage out of Pensacola? Some like hotel beach cam or something like that. I think it was from the Hilton because I tried to find this camera to check it now, and I believe it's the Hilton.
I'm not usually called to share these, but this time
I am. So this person makes it very spiritual, which is fine, but I want to focus more on if we think this is a mothership we've got here.
This is different. When you tune into the energy of this, it is just like so much absolute love and excitement. They've always been here interdimensionally, but they're coming through. You're going to be able to witness them in the physical very soon. Basically, what's happening is we're meeting at a vibrational level that we'll be able to perceive them in this realm. And so they're adjusting their frequency as needed in order for them to come through to us in that way. In the meantime, we are raising our vibration.
I'm just going to go ahead and stop her there because I don't know if I think that they're trying to work on getting on the same frequency as us. I don't think I think they can do it if they want. Is anybody else with me on that? You're funny, guys. This is the live beach camera, and I believe it's the one from the Hilton at Pensacola Beach, Florida. Thank you guys for the encouragement. Am I a gamer? I haven't in a while. I used to have an Xbox 360, but I played very few games. I've played Halo. I played Gears of War. I've played Left 4 Dead was my favorite. Fable, I love. And that might be it besides like classic things. Yes, Robin. The world lost something special with Robin. So I've only come prepared with one more and then a couple of one funny one and one sweet one because we're still going to go that way. That's the way we do it. Has anyone seen this tiny little aileron? This is from 16 years ago. I don't really feel like we need all that. Serious gamer. So, I mean, I guess Is it wrong to say this kind of looks like Bill Burr? It's so small. It says this mysterious video of unknown origin, we don't need that, was uploaded to YouTube 16 years ago. Is this something, has anyone ever seen this before? This was a first for me. Looks like grandma needs something. I know, right? You guys are funny. This is fun. I don't think there's any other context besides just watching these people slice into them. Movie magic, though, is pretty incredible. You have seen this before. There are times that it moves and I think it's alive. But I think maybe I'm wrong. Big blue hands. Now, I would like your opinion. Do you think this is true? Yeah, I think it seems real too. The motions are very skin-like. I don't know how much further it goes. 4 seconds. So we're not really going to get to the innards, but it does move like flesh. If anybody knows any more about this, wouldn't the jaw be relaxed? I don't know. I really don't know much about alien anatomy, if you want the truth. I should get a book. I'm not looking at that. Okay, that's fine. Me neither, because we're going to move on to a funny clip. I don't remember which one I put in. Oh, okay. Ready? Prepare.
Get out the rain, bro. Get on up under here. AJ. This boy can't. You got water in your ears again? Here. Go. Move. Get up under them. Get up under there before you catch a cold, man.
I thought that was funny how invested that little bird was. I've gutted and skinned a lot of animals. That is not natural. I mean, truthfully, we don't know. We don't know what texture their skin is. We don't know how they move or what their joints are like. I mean, we're talking about an entirely different species. It's probably not skin as like my skin would move or yours. Maybe, I mean, someone else said, wouldn't rigor mortis set in and they get stiff? Maybe not. Maybe they don't do that. I love the rainbirds too. It's funny. Now, this is just wholesome. I'm just going to turn it down way down low. But how cute that Mama Duck went and each baby went one at a time, trusting that this guy was going to catch them. Ugh. I think that lady needs to stay out of it. Your husband loves ducks. I love ducks too. What's not to love? They're so precious. Oh my gosh. I have to show you guys something. Hold on. Not that. You've seen that. My friend and yours, James, sent some artwork in that I love. So I want to share with you. Look at this. I don't know why I'm here. Get me out of there. Look at that. I feel like I am a part of the X-Files with these amazing... I'm going to get posters made. They're going on the wall. I am... Speaking of ducks, isn't that funny? The clip was about ducks and my friend is Duck Prince. Wow. I just want to say thank you so much. And I just wanted to share this beautiful artwork. And there were more where this came from. I know. I know. I went to the store today. I didn't have time, but I really wanted to print them out, and because I have a frame that I'm going to put one in right on my desk. I love it. And I'm so grateful. I will. We'll have to figure something out because James definitely deserves something from this. I definitely want to use them. I could never create something that beautiful as far as this artwork goes. So, yeah. I just want to say thank you. Thank you guys for being here. That's really all I have. I think, oh, what? It's been 50 minutes. Wow. Good for us. We did this for almost an hour. This has been so fun. If anybody cares to still be here for a second, I will tell you a story of what happened today. I used to love going to the park with my daughter and feeding the ducks. That's so sweet. Did you bring bread or anything like that to feed them with? You guys. My That is a dad joke if there ever was one. Look at you. Thank you. Thank you so much. I feel like this was amazing. I had the best people. I was scared there would be people that I didn't know who would come on and like be mean or something, but I just had, I know you are. I know. That's what makes it even funnier. But yeah, you guys were great. It was like all the people that I just really appreciate the most here. So this is all I could have ever wanted. But I want to tell you something. Oh, it's actually a 94, not an 88 Jeep. I have an old 88 Jag, but a 94 Jeep. But this was meant. Thank you. You guys are my favorite. But oh, so it was probably like 4:00. And I was like, 5:00, I need to do all the final preparations to start at 6. I didn't want to keep anybody waiting or anything like that. So I did all the things I had to do. And then at like 4:30, maybe, my cat Charlie came in and she was super excited to be in here and she wanted to sit in the windowsill. So she jumped up. Well, she's a little chunky. And she sort of missed. She was fine. She landed on her feet, but she took with her my camera, the light that's behind it. She unplugged all sorts of stuff that I couldn't figure out, like which was unplugged. So then it's 5:00 and I had to start getting final ready for this. And I could not for the life of me get the view, like get this to work so you could see me, which is fine, but it definitely is not the same thing as being able to talk to you guys like this. So yeah, I spent like 20 minutes almost gonna cry because I thought I wasn't gonna be able to do this and I was gonna have to tell you that I couldn't get it to work and you weren't gonna believe me because you'd think I was just too scared. That's what I thought was gonna happen. Oh, she knew. But she's so sweet. I don't think she did it on purpose. But we figured it out, honestly, at the last second. I ran back into the office to actually hit start. It was like 6:00. And then when I started it, it was set to private. So I started it and I could not figure out the setting to make it not private. Oh my gosh. It was like that last minute rush of please work. And I'm so glad it did. That's what life does. It does. It does. But you just have to smile through it, right? And I knew that on the other side was you. And so I had to do it. You would have believed you. You would have had your doubts and you know it. Oh my gosh. This has been so fun. I don't even want to stop it, but it makes sense too. I have nothing else to show you yet. I hope you guys have the best night though. And I want to thank you so much for spending time here. This was really cool. We might do it again someday. But I will not be letting any cat in this room for like a whole day prior. I appreciate you guys. I just want to say I love you so much. And this has been so much fun. And I hope you have a beautiful night. I know for a fact my grandmom's not watching. But good night, guys. Yeah. All right. We'll figure out a time to do it again. But I need I do want to. I just want to, you know what I mean? I'm pretty happy with how it went. I was nervous that there were going to be sound issues or just video problems or something, but it seems like it worked out. Good night, guys. Good night, Christine. Good night, everyone. Good night, Dave. Thank you, my friends. Good night, Sarah. Oh, thank you so much. Good night, Justin. I feel like we haven't seen our friend Justin in so long. I thought he went away from the YouTube. I'm glad to see that's not the case. See you tomorrow. Keep a grip. Think positive. I think I have a grip. I'm pretty happy. Deb, so you're great. Night, night. Good night. Good night, guys. I'm going to go ahead and sign off and say thank you. Bye, guys.